notification bell. This way, every time I upload a new video, you, dear one, will be the first to know. So I think it's important that we begin this session with a brief description of what a narcissist is, and maybe even dive into a little bit of narcissism. And so everybody has a little dose of narcissism. In fact, narcissism is essential to develop the I am. Who am I? Where do I begin? Where do you begin? Who am I in terms of what do I think? What do I feel? What are my needs and what are my goals? Narcissism exists on a spectrum, and when it becomes difficult, we begin to see personality traits like entitlement, like a lack of empathy, self-absorption, grandiosity. We are talking to people and we feel like we want to pull our hair out because things that they're saying are illogical, they don't make sense, and they're not based in reality. If you are a friend of someone who has high narcissistic traits, you might be someone who rolls their eyes a lot. You might hear yourself saying things like, well, he or she exaggerates a lot. Yeah, they like to be right all the time. They like to one-up people. And you may be highly aggravated by this person or mildly agitated by this person. But you're going to notice that this person has traits that are making it uncomfortable for you to be around them. Now, someone who is more malignant on the narcissistic scale may have narcissistic personality disorder. This is someone who is vindictive. This is someone who has delusions of grandeur. This is someone who, like I said earlier, lacks empathy, has a sense of entitlement, and is very exploitative. So this is a person that thinks they are right all the time. So if that means that you don't match in their head the person that they think you should be, they have a right to punish you. They will one-up you. They feel better than you. They need you to either fear them and or adore them. Yeah, sure, in the beginning, they love bomb people, but it has nothing to do with the victim. It really has everything to do with the narcissist, because it's like driving around in a red Ferrari. It makes the person driving the car look good. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who drives a red Ferrari is a narcissist. What I'm trying to say is that if a narcissist bombs you, that's because they're trying to convince themselves that you're awesome, so they feel good about being with you. When you are in a romantic relationship with a narcissist over time, maybe you forget to bring the milk home. Or maybe you challenge them. Or maybe you say, I don't like when you talk to me like that. Or maybe they are exploiting you in some way and you call them out on it. Narcissists will see that as a challenge. And over time, you will be devalued because you are now showing them that you see something in them they have yet to be able to integrate or process within themselves. A narcissist can't tell themselves the truth, that they are exploitative, that they make mistakes, that they judge people, that they're wrong. They can't admit it to themselves. So, of course, they're not going to be able to admit it to anyone else. And so this is why dealing with narcissism in terms of therapy is very difficult, because there is a lack of self-awareness, there's a lack of self-knowledge, there's a lack of personal insight, and a whole lot of defensiveness. When a narcissist is talking to you, they really expect you to agree with them. And if you don't agree with them, they can get very snarky, very defensive. They can even become abusive. So we're understanding narcissism, we're understanding that it exists on a spectrum. I think it's also important to say that just because I have a bad day, just because you have a bad day, just because you get snarky once in a while, doesn't mean that you're a narcissist. It means you had a bad moment. What we're looking for is a pervasive pattern. This is someone who doesn't just have this fly-by-night situation where they're ornery and they're making a big deal out of nothing, and they can even be exploitative in the moment. What we're looking for is in a friend or in a partner or even in our parents or even in ourselves, we're looking for a pervasive pattern of this type of behavior. So this isn't someone who has a bad day. This is someone who has a string of bad days. In other words, it's their temperament, and it's become their personality, and you can't ignore it now. How does a narcissist then turn your friends and your families, even your coworkers, people that you love, your social circle, into flying monkeys? It happens over time. And if it's ever happened to you, you are probably someone who's quite shocked. You've ended a relationship with a narcissist. It could be a friend. You've ended a relationship with a narcissist. It could be a romantic relationship. You may have even decided to go no contact with a narcissistic family. And to you, it's over. You're trying to heal. Maybe you've moved out of the house. Maybe you've moved to another town, you've gone to a different yoga studio, you're going to a different bank, you're shopping in a different place, you want nothing to do with this narcissistic experience anymore. And lo and behold, you start to notice on Facebook that the narcissist that you were with is now friending your friends, or is now a friend of your friends. You go to a different yoga studio and suddenly the narcissist shows up at your yoga studio and is now talking to all your new friends, and you're put on the spot. The narcissist now is inviting your friends and your family over for the holidays. The narcissist that you have left is suddenly reaching out to your friends and saying things like, have you heard from Lisa? Have you heard from Mary? Have you heard from Don? Have you heard from Jack? I'm really worried about them. The last time we spoke, they were a little bit unhinged. So the stage is being set for triangulation. So in that context, what's happening is the narcissist is regaining their power. So you left them, you're no longer with them, and they need to feel like they're one up on you. So how do they do that? They begin triangulating you. They begin speaking to your friends and your family poorly about you, but it's done in a very covert way. I went through this when my ex called my mom after we had a heated argument, after he told me that he was going to stop paying the mortgage and took complete control over our finances. I found out a year later that on the same day, he called my mother and told her that I had threatened to hurt myself, which was a bold-faced lie. But think about the tactic. An argument was created. It was really heated. I was gaslit. I was put on notice that I was going to be in financial ruin, or that was the suggestion, you're never going to be able to make it without me. And of course I got upset. That's terrible to do to someone. And I did cry and I was upset, and it was a little bit out of control. It really was. But think about the mindset of someone leaving that house then, knowing that there's a potential that I could call my mom and complain, which I never did. And think about the person then who makes the phone call to my mother, who says, hey, how are you? Very calm, very cool, and very collected. Yeah, I just want you to know I just left the house, and, I'm worried about Lisa. She threatened to hurt herself, and it never happened. Think about the manipulation that is going on that level. So what happens in that scenario? My mom doesn't know what's going on. I never called her. In that situation, my mom then thinks that this person has my...
I was just thinking about you, believe it or not. Cook what you got. What's going on? And you dropping down in my chat. I know you got something to say. What's going on? Cook what you got. I'm trying to reach one, teach one today. I'm giving commentary. Well, listen up, because I am trying to reach one, teach one. Listen.
Best interest at heart. So it's not difficult to understand how someone who doesn't have the whole story is being groomed to be a flying monkey, and they don't even know it. Another thing that narcissists will do is they will begin hovering around wherever you hang out. So if there's a club that you like to go to, they're there. They start talking to the people that you know. Let's say you have a dog and you go to a particular pet groomer. The narcissist will get a dog and suddenly be at the pet groomer, and you won't even know it. And in casual conversations, we'll bring your name up to the vet tech or the groomer and begin a conversation about you. They may even build you up in the beginning, but as time goes on, remember, you don't know this is happening, but as time goes on, the narcissist will begin to say things that are negative about you. He or she might say things that, you have anxiety, that you never really got along with your parents. So it could be a bold-faced lie, but the goal is to triangulate you in this situation with the pet groomer or the vet tech. So why would a narcissist do it? It's because of their need to feel dominant in your life. Because the idea that they aren't able to control you in the context of a relationship is just too much for them. They have seen you as their target. You're a source of narcissistic supply. You have shifted from being a primary source of narcissistic supply, or the type of narcissistic supply that makes them feel good about themselves. And so now you will become a source of narcissistic supply for them by exerting dominance over you through this type of tactic. So let's say you have a child with a narcissist and you now go to separate parent-teacher conferences. What do you think is going to happen at the parent-teacher conference? The narcissist is going to say negative things about you at the parent-teacher conference. The narcissist might lie and say, yeah, I've seen my wife yell at my son, and I've seen her hit him. I don't like it. I told her to get therapy for her anger management issues, but she never listened to me. Maybe you'll have better luck at suggesting that she needs some anger management. It's very covert, it's malicious, it's exploitative, and again, you don't know it's happening. Someone who is in this position, someone who is a narcissist, someone who puts other people in this position, is emotionally manipulating the entire play. So if you imagine a narcissist as an actor on a stage, their agenda is to pull as many people into this delusional reality as they possibly can. So everybody is fair game. Your child can be turned into a flying monkey. So how was mommy yesterday? Maybe mommy had a bad day at work, or maybe the narcissist knows that your boss gives you a rough time, or maybe the narcissist knows at the end of the month, you're an accountant, at the end of the month it's crunch time for you, so you don't have as much patience as you normally do for the rest of the month. The narcissist will use that against you in a conversation with your child. Is mommy on edge? It's not your fault if mommy's on edge. You can tell mommy, you're on edge if you think mommy's on edge. If you think that mommy's sleeping too much, or if you think mom is being a little bit too abrasive, you have a right to tell her, Junior. You have a right to speak up for yourself, because mom used to treat me that way. And so I don't ever want her to talk to you that way. So, buddy, make sure that you speak up. So what's happening? This child is being exploited by the narcissist that knows exactly what they're doing. They are deliberately trying to turn your children against you, trying to turn your child into a flying monkey. Again, if you have ever been in this situation, it is one of the most difficult things to wrap your mind around, that you had a child with this person, that you care about your partner has a completely different mindset. Your partner is maybe even unaware that they see their child as a pawn. When you're dealing with a narcissist, one of the most difficult things to really, really get a hold of is that their mind functions differently than yours. The relationship was difficult. It was hard to get past relationship ambivalence. You finally come to a place in your life where you feel like I have to leave. Like the relationship was never really truthful, authentic, and good to begin with. The experiences that we have are far more negative than they are positive. I do generally walk around on eggshells. I fear this person. I never know what's going to happen next. I'm physically exhausted. My body is failing. I'm done. And so you're done and you want it to be over. And in a healthy situation, you have that right. You have that right to say, I've decided to end this relationship. It can be difficult for those of us who are trying to end relationships, even a healthy relationship, and convince ourselves that we're actually done with the relationship. But when you're dealing with someone who is highly narcissistic or who has NPD, this water gets very, very muddy. So let's say you've decided to end a relationship with someone who is highly narcissistic. Please understand, you have that right to end that relationship, even if no one else understands it. You have a right to say, I'm not walking around on eggshells anymore. There are more negative times than there are good times. We were never really happy in the first place. I'm not doing this pros and cons thing anymore. I'm just going to go by how I feel. I distrust this person and it's over for me. You have a right to do that. However, when you're dealing with a narcissist, this is a finger in their eye. In their head, you don't have the right to move forward. You don't have the right to leave them. And when you abandon them, you set off within them, not your fault, an onslaught of like these mini bombs. And they have to find ways to compensate for feeling like they've lost power. So they will stalk you. They will humiliate you on Facebook. They will try to make your friends flying monkeys. They will turn your children against you. They will financially abuse you. They will not sign divorce papers. They will do terrible things in the aftermath of you telling them the truth. This is over for me and I'm done. I think that's one of the telltale signs of narcissism, is this vindictiveness, is this retaliation. Healthy people don't do it. Healthy people get angry just like everybody else. But healthy people, even if they have a bad moment, they don't hold on. They don't want to hold on. So in the aftermath of ending a relationship with a narcissist, and even sometimes in the relationship with a narcissist, you will discover that behind your back, the narcissist was trying to turn your children against you. You just didn't know it. He or she was saying things that you were unfit, or suggesting that you shouldn't be trusted with finances, things like that. After the relationship has ended, do not be surprised if your narcissist is sitting at your mother and father's dinner table. Do not be surprised if your sister is calling you and say, hey, I just heard from Jack. Is everything okay? He said the last time he saw you, you were a little bit unhinged. Don't be surprised. Laugh about it. Chuckle about it, because it's so freaking predictable and it's so pathetic. And the less you allow it to bother you, the more you hold on to your power. The reason I like to create sessions like this is to give people the heads up. Been there, done that. And while I was in it, I didn't know what I was going through. And that's why I was so frustrated. That's why I reacted. That's why I felt so powerless. It took me a while to understand that I was dealing with an emotional bully. And the less I saw him as someone I needed to fear, the more power that I had. Now, interestingly enough, it wasn't about battling him back that gave me the power. In fact, it was about relinquishing power. It was about going no contact. It was about shutty. It was about gray rock. It was about almost yesing him to death. And when people came to me and told me, oh, I heard this story about you, not in the beginning. In the beginning, I was shaking in my boots. My knees were shaking. I was so upset when I was hearing stories come back to me because they were half-truths and they were distorted truths. And so that was like a minutia. That was a playground of minutia. It was quagmire. It was like I couldn't gain traction because there were just so many things that I would have to deflect and try to explain to people. And I thought, why do I have to explain to strangers my reality? I know the truth. God knows the truth, and even this person knows the truth. But this person wants to create this smokescreen of shame around me and who I am by distorting the truth. And then if I fall for that, then I am disempowered. Then I don't have the ability to stand grounded. I am more worried about what other people are thinking about me than what I think about me. I can't take care of my children. I can't be the best version of myself for my clients. I can't keep producing at work. I can't take care of my home because my mind now is arrested by worrying about what people think about me. When you're dealing with someone who lies and who makes up stories, it is endless. Imagine going to the movies and the movie never ended. I mean, that's what it feels like. And so at one point, those of us who are involved with these types of personalities, we've got to let go. We've got to say, the end, game over, I'm walking out of this theater. It really is a drama. It's a play for them. And they're locked inside their own head. We have to decide, how long are we going to play inside the mind of a narcissist? How long are we going to allow someone to make us feel disempowered? How long are we going to allow this bullying to continue? And once we begin to shift and we understand, wait a minute, my power is in non-verbal communication. My power is in understanding the predictable, pathetic nature of someone who is losing control. If you can develop this attitude and you can create this mindset shift, then you can predict what a narcissist is going to do. So when your sister calls you and says, hey, I just heard from Andy and he said, you can say to your sister, let me guess. Let me stop you right there. Let me guess. So he said I was going to have a nervous breakdown and he's concerned about me. And your sister says, yeah, how did you know? You can laugh. And you say, of course. I could have predicted this. I can only imagine what he's telling my kid's teacher. I can only imagine what he's telling my yoga teacher. I can only imagine what he's telling the grocer or the checkout girl at Whole Foods that I happen to chit chat with every Sunday afternoon when I go to Whole Foods. So it can almost become funny when you're dealing with someone who is this predictable. Those of us who have emotional trauma in the background, it's a lot more difficult. It's a lot more of a tango and a dance, if you will, to extricate
Monica.
ourselves from this drama
Hey,
that a
babe.
narcissist creates in
I'm
our
sorry, I
lives
was listening.
through the delusions that they have in their own
I
head.
was trying to reach
Because
one,
we're
teach
dealing
one.
with our
Hold
own
on a second.
emotional trauma, the fear of abandonment, the fear of rejection. So that becomes part of this minutia.
I was trying to reach one, teach one. I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm on a big, well, I've been on a big narcissism kick because this is what we're dealing with up and down the YouTube streets. So the quicker people realize that all comments, all videos, everything, bad or good, is acceptable. They feed on it. So that might be, I'm not going to say might, that is one of the reasons why I dig so hard when I do decide to go in, because I know that you feed on it. So if you're going to feed on my commentary, if you're going to take my commentary, I'm going to give you the most negative, the most hateful, the most hurtful that I can put out. I'm not going to give you anything good. I'm not going to say anything good about you. I'm not fake. I'm real. I'm just going to talk about what I know. And I know for a fact that this is what I'm dealing with. And this is what I'm going to continue to deal with, because there's no stopping it.
Of a dynamic that we have to extricate ourselves from. However, understanding that this is the predictable nature of a narcissist will allow you to at least create a space where you can see, wow, there is a pattern. There was love bombing. There was a devaluing stage where I
wanted to give a shout out to Cynthia. Cynthia, listen, you did the best thing. I can tell you that. You did the best thing, because she was getting ready to start recording you, stalking you, watching you. Anything would have went on. So it's really good that you decided to just move along, okay? Because she was getting ready to get grimy. I'm just trying to tell you. She said she was getting ready to start recording you. She's been recording me since 2017. So it's like no big deal that she records me. That's why I don't give her no commentary. I don't give her any content. All I give her is negative shit. And I've been giving her nothing but negative commentary since 2021. I think I've turned my camera on twice. I mean, you're going to see me here in a couple of weeks. Well, not in a couple of weeks, the end of the weekend, because I'm getting ready to fly out. So you're going to see me. I'm going to turn my camera on. But I put my videos on private until things simmer down, because I don't like her using my videos for monetary gain. That's why she's over there begging for membership only, because they take your videos behind the scenes and they play it in its entirety, and they ask for cash apps. Hit my cash app. And they feel that since they have your content and they're playing it over there on their memberships behind the scenes, that they deserve to be paid for it. And the people pay them for that commentary, because they're playing it on their members only. So if she's going to use my content, it's going to be about narcissism and her mama eating pussy on Sunday mornings. So that's what I give her. And them fly monkeys. Unless I'm in a good mood. But it should feel ashamed of itself because it has the majority of the people putting their videos on private because now they know that you're going to come and get their commentary and play it in its entire, play it all the way out. Monica, she ain't going to mess with your shit because you got your shit down on members only, and it drives her batshit crazy that she can't see and know what's being spoke on. And the fact that she was bullying Cynthia about a video that she put on private, or two videos that she put on private. Like, bitch, why you put your video on private? It's like insane. It's truly insane. So I put my videos on private just to aggravate the lip. I do.
Was put down, there was a little bit of a discard. There was this abandonment of me, and this person tried to hoover me back in. Wow, these apologies go nowhere. If you're dealing with a narcissist, sure, they say they're sorry. Some say they're sorry, and nothing ever changes. So it's Groundhog's Day, right? And then you stay stuck. And you can feel like, well, they did acknowledge it. So you play the pro-con game, like, well, they did say they're sorry, but nothing ever changed. You have to look at the fact of the matter. You have to look at the pattern. I would say even be cautious about your emotions because your emotions are being manipulated. So use your logical and rational mind to understand, like, wow, there is a pattern here and things don't get better. And this really is how I feel. I can see the predictable nature of it. He has tried to turn my kids against me. He is turning my family into flying monkeys. If you can see the predictable nature of it, then you can create a space. Now, with that space, now you're not getting pulled in anymore. Now you're going gray rock. Now you're shutty. You're not reacting to them anymore. It's almost like you're filling up a reservoir of energy within you. The narcissist isn't able to manipulate anymore. Now, as you are going no contact and taking care of yourself, if you have emotional trauma in your background, if you have a wounded inner child, if you are dealing with ACOA issues, you're the adult child of an alcoholic, you have caretaker tendencies, you tend to be a people pleaser, you struggle with setting boundaries, that's a separate issue. Those issues have been exploited, but that is a separate issue. And that has to be dealt with because if it's not dealt with in this relationship, it's going to resurface in another relationship. If you're ready to learn how to set boundaries like a boss, if you're ready to stop your people pleasing, if you're ready to acknowledge red flags so you never have to deal with another narcissistic relationship again, check out my online 12-week breakthrough coaching program. This is a class that I created through 20 years of research, 20 years of ups and downs in my own life, 20
three interactions that you have: the provision of pure fuel, challenge fuel, and wounding. To understand more about those concepts, go to the Knowledge Vault and obtain the three interactions with the narcissist, and finally understand wounding. These are important pieces of information with regard to ensuring that you understand narcissism. When it comes to wounding, you need to understand that the most important wounding to implement upon the narcissist, of course, is the imposition of a no-contact regime. You should never go out of your way to try to wound the narcissist, because that means you may fail in trying to do it, resulting in the provision of fuel. You'll suffer an adverse consequence as a consequence of either the failure or the wounding. And thirdly, you'll be increasing your emotional thinking because you'll be taking steps to do something in relation to the narcissist, thinking about the narcissist and potentially communicating with the narcissist in some form. All of those things drive you into an arena of interaction and result in increased emotional thinking. it is important for you to understand that this information is provided to you to enable you to look at what has happened in the past and therefore understand the impact that it has had. It's not a toolkit for you to go and start bandying it around so that you get yourself into further difficulties. Of course, if you wish to go and do that, be my guest, on your head be it. I really don't care, but I am here to provide you with the accurate and appropriate information. You as adults can make an informed decision what you do with it. With regard to wounding, it's important for you to understand that there isn't a baseline of wounding, that all wounding is the same. The narcissist can be wounded at different levels. There can be astronomical wounding caused to the narcissist, substantial wounding, major wounding, very significant wounding, minor wounding, very minor wounding, and so on and so forth. So there is a scale. And I have talked about this in an alternative video where I explain the extent of the wounding that you cause to the narcissist and, in effect, how that is arrived at. You'll find that very interesting to listen to if you haven't done so already. I'm going to provide you now with 5 examples of what I would categorize as major wounding. Do this to the narcissist and you punch a huge hole in the construct. You cause huge amounts of fuel to be used up to try and deal with this wound, and it is a major problem for the narcissist. It isn't one that is going to the narcissist. It will cause fuel levels to plummet. It will cause fury. The narcissism will have to launch itself to come to the defense of the narcissist. But what it does do is at least enable you to understand that if you look back at past interactions that you've had with the narcissist, you can go, aha, that's why he or she did as he did. Or she did, because at that juncture, I caused major wounding. Substantial, wholesale wounding to the narcissist. Equate it to driving a sword through the gut of the narcissist. It's that troublesome. Number 1, leaving the narcissist. This is where you end the formal relationship. I don't mean where you walk off and leave the narcissist sat at a table in a restaurant. That will, of course, wound, but it's not major wounding. If you leave the formal relationship, you cause major wounding to the narcissist because...
And I did that. And several other people did that. Because there was no fight. There was no arguing. I got the fuck on.
You are pulling out of the fuel matrix a huge amount of fuel. You are ripping out a substantial part of the prime aims, and you are damaging the narcissist's sense of control, not only by pulling those things out of the prime aims, but the very fact that you're escaping from the narcissist in itself. Therefore, leaving the formal relationship causes a major wound to the narcissist. Number 2.
And Foot Soldier, I believe you are a narcissist also, because you just went over on Eric's panel and said there was no gifts. But there's videos of you sitting on a panel with Shakina and Betty the Rat making jokes about the gifts. Talking about the doll. Talking about how mean I was by not sending the Christmas gifts. So which one is it, Foot Soldier? Which one is it, Foot Soldier? Why I always got to be the liar? 2, that's another thing. Why come 23 got to be the liar all the time? Y'all all say the same thing. All 3 of you say the same thing. She lied, she lied, she lied, she lied. She lied, she lied, she lied, she lied. She lied, she lied, she lied, she lied. She wanted me to do this. She wanted me to go after Shakina. She wanted me to go after Shakina. I don't know anything about that. Because my plan for all 3 of you was to stay on the low. And I did. Now, you mad about that? Is that what you mad about? Yes, they were mad and they made videos about it. But now Foot Soldier got on Eric's panel and said there was no gifts. There was Christmas gifts coming. Foot Soldier, I had them running back and forth to the post office looking for those gifts. Her and Betty the Rat, Betty Roberts Richardson. See what it is, Monica, is they don't want me telling the people about how they get down. They don't want people to know how they scheme and scam behind the scenes. So 23 is this big bad. She the big bad. She the one. As Foot Soldier says, she deserved what she got. So I deserved Shakina calling my family member Foot Soldier. I deserve that. I deserve Shakina taking it off of YouTube. Foot Soldier. I deserve that. Foot Soldier. I deserve you getting on YouTube saying that you want to beat my ass. Foot Soldier. Did you get those carton of cigarettes for your birthday? Foot Soldier. See, the person that you're playing to be over in the beef sector is totally different to the person that you are over in the J4K community. Because over in the J4K community, you the dick in the booty, bitch. Mandingo dick, bitch. You that bitch. Over in the J4K community, right? I want to know, what did Shakina do to get you to come to Myron's chat and say, yes, there is no tape? What'd she say to you, Foot Soldier? And then she sit over on her panel and say, she ain't been to my chat in a year. She ain't messed with me in a year. Well, y'all have some kind of contact because she came over to Myron's panel and stood up for you. She ate your pussy like a good monkey should. She's the first monkey. Foot Soldier is the first monkey. But you want to sit on a panel and act like you don't know what's going on. You set all the stalking off over in the beef sector. Foot Soldier, you did. You saw me over dancing in Dovey's chat and you felt some kind of way. So you took your monkey wings and you flew to Shakina. And you told Shakina where I was at. And all hell broke loose. Right, Foot Soldier? Right, Foot Soldier? But you don't know what started all this. Right, Foot Soldier? But you want to beat my ass, though. Right, Foot Soldier? You got an issue with me. I see. And I'll deal with you when I see you. Up and down these YouTube streets. Foot Soldier.
Relationship causes a major wound to the narcissist. Number 2, failing to acknowledge the narcissist in a public gathering. So, for example, this might be where you're giving a speech and the narcissist is expected to
I'm sorry, Eric. I'm
recognized
sorry,
or
not that.
for their
No, I'm
contribution,
going to take it back.
achieving
Look, I'm going to take it
something.
back. I'll take it back. Look, she's eating the Jell-O. She's eating the Jell-O. Red Jell-O, whipped cream, cherries, you know. Jell-O. Take it back. Take it back. No. Take it back. Take it back. I've been doing good, you know. My commentary. Each
And
one,
you
teach
forget to
one.
include them. Invariably, this would be done as a consequence of error rather than design. You are empaths after all. But in those circumstances, your failure to acknowledge the narcissist in a public gathering means that you cause major wounding. The narcissist anticipated it, the banquet of all of those people saying, well done you, clap on the back, round of applause, hip hip hooray. And they don't get it. Not only are they anticipating it coming because their sense of entitlement has driven them to understand that they are going to be included, recognized, acknowledged, praised, whatever it might be. The failure on your part to do that, not only your failure, but the fact that you are depriving
Another
them
thing. Lip, where was all the concern? Lip, where was all the concern for Eric when they nailed him to the cross? Shakeen, where was all the concern? Because you keep dropping down in his chat. I just want to help you. You know, everything was good. We wasn't on that. Everything's a good level. And I don't appreciate how you appreciate something in somebody else's chat. Some other content creators commentary. Who are you to drop down and say what you don't appreciate? What's that? Narcissism, where you can feel the need to just drop down up or not, and say you feel some kind of way. I mean, I stay in the bushes. I feel some kind of way. I don't drop down. I keep it moving. But you feel some kind of way. And then you say, I ain't going back. Where were you when he was nailed to the cross? That's all I want to know. Where were you? Because you feel some kind of way about his chat and the way his chat is moving and what the people is saying in the comment section. You feel some kind of way. You just had to jump on the panel. You had to tell him, I feel some kind of way. This man's channel. Right? You fake Muslim, you. I ain't said no cuss word. You feel some kind of way about this man. Where were you when he was nailed to the cross? That's all I want to know. Because you got superpowers now. You got YouTube superpowers. You done lost your flying monkeys. And now you got superpowers over here feeling some kind of way about this man's commentary over here and what's going on in his chat. That's his business. Why you got to drop down and be the judge? You feel some kind of way. Okay. I thought I'd just throw that out there. Because I was in the bushes.
Failure, but the fact that you are depriving them of the fuel and control over all of those people who are assembled. And therefore, a failure to acknowledge the narcissist in a public gathering, for instance, at work, where they've been left out of praise for a project, or perhaps forgetting to compliment them when it's their celebration, or perhaps at a celebration, forgetting to thank them for doing the catering, or in another situation, perhaps where they have been involved in coaching part of the team, that their contribution has not been included, then in such circumstances, that failure to acknowledge the narcissist in a public gathering causes major wounding. Number 3, forgetting the narcissist's birthday. To the narcissist, our birthday equates with that of the birth of Christ. We are that important that we should be celebrated by many, many people around the world as having come to the world and brought something special. It's our day. And whilst you might say, well, doesn't the narcissist think that every day should be his birthday? And you wouldn't be wrong. The actual birthday becomes ultra special. All eyes should be on us. Gifts, presents, praise, doing things for us, arranging things to happen. We expect all of those things to be elevated, held aloft, praised, admired, congratulated. All of those things ought to be done. The potential for getting it wrong is huge. You get the wrong card, you get the wrong gift, but I'm not talking about those things. This is where you forget the narcissist's birthday. Again, the narcissist has a substantial anticipation of a deluge of fuel from not only you, perhaps the intimate partner primary source, but also from everybody else in terms of a gathering that would be organized for them. And if you forget to organize a special party, if you forget to...
Momo, those Those nursery rhymes that the lip is over there singing are the nursery rhymes that she sung in 2017, 2018, 2019. I think those are her rumbling rhymes, elementary rhymes. I don't know, middle school dropout rhymes. I don't know, but it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious to me.
Or organize something, a special breakfast for the narcissist, any of those things, but where you, as the intimate part of primary source, forget the birthday. You are signaling to the narcissist they really don't matter on the most important day of the year. The narcissist's birthday is more important than Christmas Day, more important than Thanksgiving, more important than Easter Sunday. It is the day the universe truly revolves around me day. And in those circumstances, if you forget the narcissist's birthday, watch out. There will be a huge ignition of fury because you've just caused major wounding. Number 4, talking to somebody else and not the narcissist. Again, the narcissist's sense of entitlement is such that you should address them first, be talking to them. And if you have the audacity to be talking to somebody else in the narcissist's presence, that snub is not only depriving them of your fuel, but also the fuel from the other person or persons that are there. And therefore, you should be coming to the throne of the narcissist, paying fealty, rather than talking to other people. It doesn't matter that that is expected of you, that it is polite to talk to those other individuals. Your failure to talk to the narcissist in those circumstances threatens the control, denies the fuel in a public circumstance, and thus causes major wounding to the narcissist. Finally, a 5th major wound, and there are more than these 5, but I'm providing you with 5 today so you don't get too greedy, is a failure on your part to turn up for something that the narcissist has planned. The narcissist is perhaps part of an amateur dramatics production. You don't go and watch. The narcissist has perhaps planned a celebration for your birthday, but you don't turn up. The narcissist has planned a romantic evening out for the 2 of you. You don't turn up. This causes major wounding to the narcissist. First of all, if the event that the narcissist has organized involves other people who are also expecting you to turn up, then you are essentially telling the narcissist you don't matter and then amplifying it 10, 20, 50 times by telling everybody else as well that we don't matter. And therefore that results in major wounding. There is also the fact that because we have gone to some effort with regard to the creation of a night out for us, a romantic setting, whatever it might be, cooking a meal for you that you don't arrive home on time for, or don't even turn up at all, the fact, not only is it the fact that you have not turned up and to be in the presence of the narcissist, but it is the fact that the narcissist have put themselves out and taken steps to do something for you, and you've not shown up. Not only are you signaling that the narcissist is important, you're also signaling that the honest, decent endeavors of the narcissist are not important either. And this results in major wounding. 5 instances of major wounding. Notice that it's all about the absence of doing something. Leaving the relationship, no longer being in it. Failing to acknowledge the narcissist. Forgetting the narcissist's birthday. Not talking to the narcissist, but talking to other people, failing to turn up for something the narcissist has organized or planned. Do that, you will ignite fury. You will not provide any fuel, and you will cause major wounding to the narcissist. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you.
If you're like me and you want to fill in deep lines where your
Well, you was gaslighted.
This is Instatalks from
You were gaslighted, Eric, and what was supposed to happen is we was all supposed to been fighting. People people like to start fights for commentary, especially when they got a dead channel. They like to start fights for clicks and views and to get people over in their chat. So the only thing that I was concerned about is when she was saying he's about to get thousands of videos made on him. He's about to get the treatment. He's gonna drag him. He's gonna do it to him. I'm just here to warn him. I'm trying to warn him. I'm trying to save him. I'm trying to save Eric from the videos. All videos is gonna be made. Thousands of videos is gonna be made on him now. And I'm just trying to tell the people to come and see. So when Monica went over and read what was said, I was like, well, I wasn't going to say anything. I just sat back with my popcorn. And you know what I usually say? I'm going to just go say I sit back with my popcorn. I got my Jell-O right. Because Eric said for me not to say that because he's in the chat. So I'm going to say I sat back with my popcorn and I got my Jell-O right. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I waited to see what was going to go down because it likes to triangulate is what they call it. They call it triangulate. And that's, in other words, pin people against each other. Try to pin you against each other. Go and tell this person something, then tell this person something, and then tell this person another something, and see what happens when they all come together. I think that's what it was. And I wasn't going. I was like, I'm going to kick back and watch. Because she desperate up and down these YouTube streets. Because where were you? Where were you when he was nailed to the cross? Where were you? The man's chat, this man's chat, disrespecting this man's chat, disrespecting this man. I'm just concerned about this man. Where was the concern when he was nailed to the cross? That's all I'm trying to get at. Shokina. Where was all this at? Was you off somewhere and missed it all when he was nailed? Because they did a lot of dragging. He was drug up. They drug him up there. And then they nailed him. Where were you? The man's chat. I don't know. But now you're a savior. His savior. You say you ain't going back, you will. All anybody has to do is say lit. Let me put that in my chat. This is all you have to say. That bitch will drop down. That money on it. That's all you have to say. That bitch will drop down. Who disrespected me? Who disrespected me? Who disrespected me? I just came to see. That's how she did Deanna. Oh my God. That's how she did Deanna. Listen. Deanna said she wanted to know who the fuck was lit. She did. She flat out came to my chat and she said, who the fuck was lit? And when she got back to her chat, that motherfucking lip dropped down and said, I'm the motherfucking lip. I was like, oh my God, she done acknowledged her name. She knows her name, Lip. So she told Deanna, I'm the motherfucking lip. I was cracking up laughing. That was real. That happened for real. But the lip ain't gonna talk about that. Let me get back to the commentary. I'm trying to reach one, teach one. Here we go.
Emotional trauma and psychological trauma. Emotional or psychological trauma can be just as painful as physical, as it hits those same pain pathways within our brains. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about what is a narcissistic injury. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So what is a narcissistic injury? This is often when you'll witness a narcissist react negatively when, for seemingly no reason or in an everyday conversation, asking them a simple question, the narcissist will suddenly rage. They will suddenly go from sunshine and roses to hurricane category 7 without warning in a millisecond, often leaving us feeling scared, confused, bewildered, wondering what on earth has just happened. Or with some narcissists, they can just fall silent on you or start sulking on you. Why do narcissists rage? Real or perceived judgment or criticism. You've set a boundary, you've said no, the narcissist didn't get their own way. You were tempted to hold them accountable for their actions. You tried to talk to them about something that they want to ignore. Indifference, you showed a lack of interest with their subject. A difference of opinion, not giving them the attention they believe they're entitled to. Their need for grandiosity and entitlement got brought into question. When a narcissist feels threatened in some way, they feel a need to abuse others, either emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, psychologically, sexually, or mentally. For real or perceived threats that the narcissist might then rage, lash out, detach, passive aggressive, stubbornness, silent treatment, forgetfulness, sulking, neglectful, procrastination, invalidating you, intimidating you, shaming you, humiliating you, lying to you, provoking you, gaslighting you, triangulating you, blaming you. Why? When a narcissist receives a narcissistic injury that they themselves might not even recognize, they feel pain or shame. To remove those feelings within themselves, they're going to lash out and project onto others. They feel a need to pull others down to lessen the blow within themselves, to raise themselves back up. They hurt others as they believe others hurt them. They are full of anger and resentment for things you haven't even done to them. However, instead of working through these issues for themselves, they blame others for their problems.
Right, like
Their reaction.
calling my family member. Telling people that I found your daughter. Telling my family member, oh, I don't know how she found my daughter and brought her to YouTube. When you know Vonnie found your daughter and brought her to YouTube, but you kissed Vonnie's ass. Ooh, I can say ass. That's ass is okay. Ain't ass okay, Eric? I think ass is okay. I can pass with ass. Ass is better than Jello. Okay? I think I can pass with ass. So you eat her ass. You lick her crown. See? I didn't say Jello. I said crown. You lick her crown. And she's the one that brought your daughter. She stalked and found your daughter. But you blame me for that. You go up and down the streets and you blame 23 for it. And you went off of YouTube and blamed me for it. You went over in the beef sector and blamed me for it. You nasty. You nasty. But I'm the stalker. Peaches. Let's talk about Peaches. Peaches over there on my, what is that channel? 2300J, that channel. Where I got Peaches plastered up over there. That came with information, your information. I sent it to Cruz, Stars of Cruz. Cruz put the picture out, said it was your daughter. You threw a fit. You said you didn't know who the fuck that was. You denied Peaches. So I said, since you don't know who it is and I don't know who it is, I'm going to use the photo. So I took the photo and I put it on my thumbnail. I never put that picture out. Cruz put that picture out. I knew it wasn't your daughter. I said it's your sister, Peaches, the slut whore. That's your sister on my thumbnail. You just won't tell the people. You won't tell the people, just like you won't tell the people that you can't go live from those 3 pages. You can't go live from those 3 pages because you put any kind of name. You put any kind of name. So you can't claim those pages. YouTube kicked your ass to the curb and took those channels. You can't go live from it, but you're going to tell the people, I could go live if I wanted to. No, you can't. You can't. You were gay bashing. You was gay bashing. And they took your channels. Say I lie, Shakina. Go live from any one of them nasty channels, them gay bashing channels you got over there. And this channel that you're working on now, it's full of 2,300. You holler for years. I just need her name. I just need her name. Now you got my name. Now you saying for me to take you to court. I thought you was going to do me in. You got my name, you got my family, you got everything plastered up. What's holding you back? I'm pretty sure you're doing things behind the scenes, filling out credit cards, trying to get credit, using social security numbers. I wouldn't put anything like that past you because you're a scammer and a schemer. And you already have all those charges: harassment, domestic violence, 2 cases of prostitution. One of those cases, you say that you don't take your clothes off. You say you didn't have to take your clothes off. You was in front of somebody's business sucking cock. You didn't have to take your clothes off. Who you playing with, Shakina? Who you playing with? You're a cocksucker. What else would a 13-year-old do for a job? You suck cock for $5. You suck cock. Ooh, Eric, I'm sorry. Well, that's bad. He said he coming back 23. I ain't never coming back 23. That is not the correct language. You went from good to like totally zero right there. Just talking, just saying that. Yes, 2 cases of prostitution. Now, the first case of prostitution was brought out 2 years ago. And she accepted it. She said, yeah, I got caught 1 time, but I didn't do it no more. I got paperwork and it says 2 cases of prostitution. Say I lie, Shakina. But what gets me is the retail theft. Because I know what thief, I couldn't figure out what the thief and the theft meant. Because you got in trouble for retail theft. Either you was raising the prices on the items that was going through, or you was pocketing the money, or you had false people coming in buying stuff. Something happened with that job and you went to jail for it. And the white substance and that black oversized female with the color in her hair, I believe that was your bitch. You say I lie, you say I lie, you say I lie. That's what the paperwork says. They said 3. They was looking for 3 people. You say it was 3 stacks. You said 3 people got 3 stacks, 10, 20, that's 30,000. The black female, you, and that oversized black female with the color in her hair. That's what the paperwork said. Anybody could read this public information. It's court. It's in court documents. It's free information. Anybody can read it. You laying on the floor with your titties flopping, screaming and crying, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Muslim. Anybody can read it. They had to bring in a woman, and when that woman came in, she threw your ass up in that bathroom, and she searched your jello. She searched your jello. And then after she got finished searching your jello, she threw you with your boopies flopping and all back down on that floor. That's what the paperwork said. And the screaming and crying in the jail cell. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Who you playing with? You a whole walking criminal up and down the YouTube streets. You got a whole harassment case. They said that you harassed a person for no reason at all in 2015. for no reason at all. That was enough information for me. That let me know that this was never going to end. When I seen harassment, I knew I was dealing with a demon, a pure walking YouTube 4'9", jello eating demon. That's what you don't like about me. That's what you don't like about me. And that's understandable. Because if I had all this on me, I wouldn't like me either. But you've had my information long enough. You've had it long enough. And if you found something that was horrible or I did something wrong or this, that, and the other, I'm pretty sure you would have brought it to YouTube by now. But you're looking for my job. You're looking for the job. I told you I'm going to answer the phone. What you going to do when I answer the phone? You know what I sound like? I'm going to send a call to the police immediately. Fuck with it. That's what I'm waiting on you to do. Fuck with it. You said your phone is going to show you where I live at or where I work at. Your phone is going to show you the way. All I want you to do is make that call because I'm in charge, Shakina, where I work at. I'm the boss. I don't understand why Cruz didn't tell you that. When you do call, 23 will pick that phone up. Nobody else is there. Just me. And I will pick it up. And I'm going to put it right to the police. What else am I supposed to do? You won't stop. You won't stop. You said the things that you can do are unbelievable. I believe it. You've shown me by calling my family, telling them that I was grooming children in California. How am I grooming children in California, Shakina? How's that happening? If that's the case, why are you looking for my job? If I'm grooming children in California, why are you looking for my job? Why you say you're going to hit me in my pocket? I don't understand. Which one is it? Am I a pedophile or am I a nurse? Which one? Shakina. That's what I thought. Keep telling you, you don't want to play with me, Shakina.
For themselves, they blame others for their problems. Their reactions can be intense as the narcissist tries to regain control over you and the situation, often without resolving the situation and making matters far worse. They'll just blame others for making the situation worse, not themselves. Their anger, their rage, their manipulation is a defense mechanism, and it's used to exploit others to get their own needs met. Some will just go all out on pulling other people down, on getting other people to question someone else's judgment, especially if they perceive that that other person is doing better than the narcissist themselves. Abuse is abuse. There is no excuse. As the narcissist is either unwilling or unable to work on their issues, they cause problems for those around them, then blame those around them as they feel entitled to exploit others and they lack the empathy to care. What can you do? Never intentionally seek revenge or seek to hurt a narcissist, no matter what they've done to you. They lack empathy, and if they receive a narcissistic injury, to them it's game on to bring you down. There's no low they won't go, as they don't see themselves as the problem. They just blame all others and rationalise and justify their irrational and unjustified behaviour. Don't engage. The more we play the games, the more they believe they're correct. The more they believe their behaviour works for them. The more we justify, argue, defend or explain ourselves to them, the more they think that we are wrong and the worse their behaviour gets. Whether the narcissist knows they're right or not, they lack the empathy to care and they want to destroy us to feel better about themselves. They want to watch us go crazy, trying to prove ourselves to them. No contact is always best. If that's not an option, limited contact, grey rock and no reaction. There is lots of different advice on and around the internet about narcissistic abuse. no one of those people is right. No one of those people is wrong. It depends on your belief system, on who you are as a person. Find the information that resonates you, that helps you through. If it's not helping you through, it is not the information for you. Yes, we can all receive those triggers, we can all feel those pain, and sometimes those triggers are warning signals. Those emotions are a warning signal of the things that we do need to work through. However, some information just doesn't sit right, doesn't seem right. It's not our job to pull that other person down. It's not our job to try and explain to them why they are wrong. It's our job to walk away from them and find the information that helps us. That goes with all walks in life. It's about your beliefs, your values, what matches who you are as a person and who you want to be as a person. Stepping away from the drama and the conflict, as the more people step away, the less drama and conflict can be created because they've got nobody to argue with. Remember to stay in your own truth as who you are as a person. I shall add the other video into the description on the injured narcissist, as it goes into a lot more detail, as well as narcissistic rage, no contact, and grey rock. Go out there and have the best day, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Go and create the day that you deserve. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.
I've officially signed up for therapy, and I'm doing it
with you forever after they do this. Have you ever wondered if a narcissist can truly care about anyone other than themselves? Perhaps it's possible, but it's certainly not in the way we typically understand what care and love mean. When a narcissist has moved on from you, it's going to be apparent in how they treat the relationship, and inevitably how they treat you. The intimacy that once existed between you will be gone, replaced with an unsettling void. The core problem that all narcissists struggle with is intimacy. The natural libido that we all experience as human beings has no place for them anymore. Instead, anger, resentment, and hate take over. To someone who isn't wrapped up in the narcissistic mindset, this may seem utterly strange. After all, we are wired to gravitate towards love, care, and affection to form healthy bonds with one another. But for narcissists, they thrive on taking advantage of others who still prioritize those loving and caring motives. That's why the world is currently grappling with such an overwhelming occurrence of narcissism. But how did the narcissist become that way? The answer lies in the terrible things that the narcissist experienced in their early childhood, likely trauma, abandonment, or emotional neglect. They'd adopted a cruel and vindictive personality as a tool to survive.
Your mama saying that you were too pretty to play. You know I was going to say that. Your mama saying you was too pretty to play. Your grown cousins coming and messing with your jello. I'm saying jello, but you know what I'm talking about. Bringing a knife to a fight for a 12-year-old instead of fighting with your fist or picking up a brick. If you'd have picked up a rock, it would have been better, but you bought a knife to a fight for a 12-year-old. Having puppy mutts for an 18-year-old boy, an 18-year-old boy. Trauma. Getting kicked and beat to the head, getting your pelvic kicked and beat down. Getting beat down. Trauma. Brain damage. Puppy mutts. Pedophile.
Leading to the twisted individuals we know today. It's a deeply saddening situation. So, have you ever noticed that a narcissist is trying to mimic you in the beginning? They start by mirroring your actions and behaviors, pretending to show you love and affection. It's unsettling because they could copy even your strangest habits. Think about it, in a healthy relationship, people have their quirks and preferences that make them unique individuals. Yet, the narcissist seems like a copycat version of you. I even used to call my ex a mirror of me. However, this fake intimacy is short-lived, and eventually, they can't keep up the pretense. When this happens, it should be a red flag that their true nature is emerging. But why can't a narcissist have a real, genuine connection with someone? Because the natural energy and strength people get from love and affection are replaced with hate and anger for the narcissist. And as soon as the intimacy gets cut off, they lash out, feeling confident that they've hooked you. This is when the trauma bond becomes dangerous. You start questioning whether the narcissist ever really loved you. It all starts to feel like one big lie. However, if you can remember that this person was pretending all along and is incapable of reciprocating actual love, you'll avoid getting stuck in a toxic cycle of seeking love from someone who can't give it.
Selling bath salts.
Once they're done with you, the narcissist has already moved on to someone new or is already texting a few others on the side. It's like they're always on the hunt, always trying to get their fix. It's a vicious cycle that doesn't reflect how normal people seek love and connection in their lives. It's easy to use extreme language and paint all narcissists as demons, but that kind of thinking is dismissive and unhelpful. When we do this, we're no better than the narcissists themselves, who label us as bad people to justify their
That's how I
wrongdoings.
feel about it.
It's essential to have a nuanced understanding
I
of the
feel
situation.
demons.
It could be that we're seeking love in unhealthy ways or exhibiting codependent tendencies. This isn't to say that we're necessarily bad people, but it's important to take responsibility for our actions and work towards self-improvement. One of the hardest realizations is that the intimacy we experienced with the narcissist was never genuine. It's unsettling to think that we were living a lie, but we were too clouded by our love for them to see the red flags. It's only through introspection that we can identify why we got stuck in these toxic relationships. By doing the work to better ourselves, we can move forward and pursue genuine connections with people who can reciprocate our love and affection. It's tempting to blame others for our problems, but ultimately, that's not a healthy way to live. Instead, we need to take an honest look at ourselves and identify the areas where we can improve. Only then can we break free from the cycle of seeking out toxic relationships and start to live the life we deserve. In conclusion, navigating a relationship with a narcissist can be the most confusing experience. They often mirror us at the beginning, leading us to believe that they are everything we've been looking for. But eventually, their true colors emerge, and we're left to deal with the aftermath of their emotional manipulation. It's easy to blame the narcissist, but that kind of thinking is not helpful at all. By taking responsibility for our actions, seeking self-improvement, and understanding why we get caught up in these relationships, we can break the cycle and find genuine connections with people who can reciprocate our love and affection. Just notice when the seemingly beautiful love turns into hate and anger, the narcissist is almost done with you because at this point, they may already have someone else. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. With support and self-reflection, you can overcome the trauma bond and start living the life you deserve. So, let's make today the day that we take one step closer to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Until next time, let the healing begin.
Before Course Hero, I spent hours looking for help online when I was stuck on homework or studying for tests.
So, have you ever wondered about the capacity of a narcissist to feel genuine care and affection towards others? While the possibility can't be completely dismissed, it is not in accordance with our usual interpretations of care and love. If a narcissist has moved on from you, you must pay close attention to how they act towards you and the relationship. As the earlier intimacy will be replaced with a hollow void. The problem that all narcissists encounter lies in the fact that their struggles with intimacy cause them to resort to anger, resentment, and hate, when their natural libido experiences no place for them any longer. As human beings, we are drawn towards forming healthy bonds with others by showing love, care, and affection for them. However, narcissists feel comfortable taking advantage of those who still prioritize these innocent emotions. Therefore, we observe an overwhelming abundance of narcissism in the world. This is our today's world. But what is the root cause of this? The source can be tracked back to the painful experiences that narcissists had to face during their early childhood. They develop a cruel or vindictive personality as a mechanism for survival, leading to the twisted individuals that we observe today. Naturally, this is a deeply saddening revelation. So, have you ever noticed how your narcissist appears to intimidate you when you begin your relationship? By mirroring your actions and behaviors, they pretend to exhibit care and affection towards you. The nature of it can be very unsettling as they seem to imitate even some of your eccentricities. However, the fake intimacy that one experiences with a narcissist is unfortunately not long lasting and they eventually fail to keep up the facade. You must be vigilant as the situation should serve as a warning flag that they are.
I wanted to say this. I know that you're an older woman, 76, 77 years old. Maybe you forgot being up on the panel over there with Shakina talking about gifts and making fun of me for sending you guys gifts. Did you forget about it? Foot soldier, did you forget? But you sit up on a panel next to Monica and you know I was cracking up laughing and act like you don't know what's going on about nothing. But then you'll say, I believe she in California. How you know I'm in California? You say you don't watch. How you know I'm in California? That's what I thought.
Using the victim to boost their own social standing. They will marry the most eligible high-status candidate available, the richest, the most attractive, the most talented, etc. The moment they get the chance, they'll begin to push the limits. A tug-of-war sensation is created. The pain will start right away. As time progresses, the pressure to cross increasingly greater boundaries increases. The most convenient supply is the one who stays because they derive their sense of worth from the relationship and believe they have no choice but to remain with the narcissist. This is especially true for people who have been manipulated and gaslighted for an extended period of time, perhaps beginning with their narcissistic parent. Let me begin by expressing my appreciation for your time in watching this video. If you're new around these parts, you should know that we're all about busting the narcissist's secret. As we begin, I want to convey how much I value your help in the future. Narcissism is not necessarily shown in negative feelings like rage and outbursts. The cause might be something like a chemical imbalance or an injury to the brain. However, narcissistic rage encompasses a broad spectrum of behaviors, from explosive outbursts and sudden fits of rage to more subtle forms of aggression, like simmering resentment. If a narcissist isn't getting the attention they crave, even if it's being taken away from more vital issues, they may lose it. When a narcissist's wants and needs aren't met, they may react with excessive hostility or extremely passive-aggressive. Disheartening because it shatters their idealized self-concept. If narcissists place such a high importance on how they seem on the outside, how can this be? To that end, I'd like to talk today about how a narcissistic injury can affect the narcissist. To what extent do they agree or disagree? What's wrong with them? There are various narcissistic wounds that one may suffer. At each juncture, a range of options is available. Nonetheless, I will also talk about the worst narcissistic injury possible and how they are likely to react to it. Emotional traumas that undermine the narcissist's sense of self-worth and pride are known as narcissistic wounds, also known as wounded ego. Whenever someone attacks their false persona, this is what normally happens. The degree of the injury may also affect the narcissist's reaction. However, no matter how bad the wound is, they will always respond in the same way. Because we value brevity, let's quickly review the normal response of a narcissist to a narcissistic injury when you hurt a narcissist. When their pride is damaged, they feel humiliated, which is quickly replaced by anger. The narcissist becomes obsessed with getting even as a result. No matter how great the wrong is done to them, narcissists are incapable of forgiving it. They don't even bother with a sham apology. It is therefore irrelevant whether they have or not. They'll be thinking of methods to get even with you and plotting revenge. Their preferred form of punishment is the infamous smear campaign, which can be carried out in secret or in full view of the public. A narcissist may treat you badly before suddenly acting kind again. There are narcissistic hurts that can drive the narcissist to even more extreme behavior. And I'm not even referring to the lifetime slander campaign. The reason is that a narcissist can be dealt a fatal blow in addition to everything else, where their pride and ego crumble before their eyes, and the realization of who or what they really are brings on an overwhelming sense of shame. There are several potential triggers for a narcissist's breaking point. These are the kinds of experiences that would rip open the deepest wounds in a narcissist's fragile ego. In the video, I discussed in depth the 3 triggers for narcissist pain: desertion, exposure, and insult. Narcissists are especially vulnerable to those who can strike with all 3 at once. The narcissist then either becomes extremely afraid of this person and actively avoids them, or develops an obsessive desire to destroy them. Assuming the latter, it's feasible that they'd let their guard down at the sight of the person who wounded them. At this point, the narcissist has no choice but to confess that the other person is someone they do not like and quit pretending otherwise. If they have the option, they would prefer to have them slain. Such a severe narcissistic injury can have far-reaching consequences for a person with an extreme personality type like narcissism, and not just for the victim. How far the narcissist goes next is determined by the depth of their current emotions. If it's fear, they could feel trapped and hopeless.
Can anyone learn to sing, or is it a talent you're just born with? Here's the real answer. If you can speak and can
If it's fear, they could feel trapped and hopeless. They are more prone to run away and act as if nothing happened, even if they eventually give in and own their mistakes and seek treatment, which rarely succeeds. If their hatred for the target is so great that it cannot be rationalized, the narcissist may even resort to trying to lay a curse or hex on them, or hiring a hitman to eliminate them. For a narcissist, there are no bounds to what they would have another person do if they knew it wouldn't come back to them. A narcissist's dark side becomes more apparent once they've been wounded by another narcissist. They could play the victim to gain sympathy, but that's just a diversion from their real agenda. But if you're an expert, you can home in on what's off and how bitter their resentment really is. In other words, you'll be getting an eyewitness account. When a narcissist gets hurt, they experience a wide range of painful emotions. Fear, rage, wrath, and shame are some of the most common. The narcissist's innate negativity is merely amplified by this. A narcissist can't take the insult, humiliation, and rejection all at once. The damage from a narcissistic injury cannot be undone, as is the case with any other type of injury to the ego. Their constant barrage of self-deprecating remarks only serves to make them miserable to be around. A narcissist, if denied the opportunity for revenge, may go mad or violent if the ordeal lasts too long. Narcissists have little interest in repairing their wounds and moving on. They refuse to forgive or acknowledge their mistakes, so any hope for change fades as they get older. A person's right to self-destruction should be respected if you have wounded their pride. I really hope you found some value in this video. Please describe an experience in which you inflicted a narcissistic
yet another video. Today, I'll discuss why a narcissist could wish to emulate your characteristics. I think there are three main factors that contribute to narcissists' bad behavior. We're all aware that narcissists are great actors despite their underlying insecurity. They give off an air of self-assurance and friendliness, but in reality, they are neither. Actually, all they're doing is acting. Furthermore, they pretend to be happy. That's why it bothers them so much when they meet real people. Narcissists, then, are jealous of our independence and individuality. When we are happy, successful, and confident, we are targets of their hatred. They hate us but count on us anyhow. Looking at us makes them wish they were us. It's because you're destroying them that narcissists like you so much. They would give anything to be in your position right now. To put it another way, they wish they could be in your shoes. Of course, they won't be able to join us, so they'll have to settle for trying to copy us instead. As a result, narcissists form their identities in part through emulation, mimicry, copying, or the study of those around them.
Well,
Those who suffer from narcissism frequently seek approval from others to counteract their own feelings of inadequacy. They need support from others, and they use
it's a
everything to
serious
help grow into a
situation,
person
and if it gets fixated on you, it could go on for years and years and years and years and years.
Narcissists crave praise because
Just like it said. It even said it. I couldn't believe it said it. It said that I'm going to record everything you do. That's what she said about Cynthia. So she was getting ready to get into Cynthia. She'd get up and she'd tell the people that people sending her a clip or somebody said something to her. No, she records. She said that's how she learns. She said that's how she learned how to speak English. Because when she came, she had Jamaican. She was Jamaican. She said she had to listen to our videos, learn how to speak proper English. So maybe that's why she is recording and she's too slow to keep up, because she's fixated on dates and times and videos, timestamps, fucking debunking. I got the video. I got the clip. Of course, because you record. You record everything. You can't help it. It's like it can't stand not to know what people are saying about you. It eats it to the core. It's got to know. So after I get off of here and I put this on private, it's like it's going to go berserk. If I delete it, then it's over with. If I delete it, it's over with. But it used to take all of the videos, all my videos, and play them in its entirety. But since she lost those 3 pages, she haven't did it. She did it a couple of times so far. She took my content. My last video, she took it over there. So I don't blame anybody. You saying that I put my video on private. If you don't put it on private, she's going to take it and use it for content. She'll play it in its entirety. But she says she feels she has the right to do that because ain't nobody going to be striking because nobody wants their information given out. And that's true. So she feels that gives her the right to play people's content in its entirety because nobody's going to strike her because nobody wants their information given out. But what the people fail to realize when they get when they email her, you can be doxxed through your email. You can be doxxed through your email. So when she asking you for your email, that's just like asking for your home address, your phone number. You can be doxxed through your email. That's why she's asking those people to send them her email, their emails. Talking about a secret channel. Like, what you got that's so secretive that people gonna pay or people gonna come over secret to listen to, unless it's somebody else's content that you're playing in its entirety. That's all you ever got, or somebody's photos that you done stolen. That's it. That's all. And it gets real excited when it got into my Instagram account. It was like on cloud 9. The laugh, the dynamic. Is it dynamic or dynamic? Dynamic. Yeah, dynamic laugh that you let out when you got over on my Instagram page. That's her. It's her. The excitement in your voice let me know that you're very sick. Very sick. Yes, she learned how to speak. She learned all that. She said she learned it from YouTube. She said that's why she records us, because she said we were born on the cement and she was born in the jungle. So what jungle was you born in, and was your daddy a silverback? Are you a daughter of a silverback ape? You got mad at me. She struck me for that. Actually, the video that I made, hold up Vonnie, because Vonnie is the one that found your daughter. She was striking me the whole time I was doing that live. She was striking me. But YouTube just put age restriction on it, because something was supposed to happen Monday. She told her people, just wait until Monday. Just wait until Monday. You'll see. Well, today is Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I think today's Tuesday. And my pages are still up. So I'm not understanding what's supposed to go down on Monday, Shakina. And how you feel that you have all this seniority to play people's videos in its entirety. Only you. But when they put up your shit, you want to go to the general. You want to pay your $60. You want to call in your flying monkeys. You want to stalk. You want to call family members. It's a lot. So I don't blame anybody that wants to stand down. It's a lot that comes with this territory. You have to be good to deal with the dirty lip bitch over there. She's a demon. A goddamn walking criminal demon.
Narcissists require more praise, awe, and trust from others in order to feel good about themselves. They put in a lot of effort to look well in social situations, or at least to create the impression that they do. Media and the environment both play a role in shaping one's personality. They cherry-pick the best traits of people who come out as likable and empathetic. The narcissist is acting, and they are completely immersed in their performance. As for the second, narcissists try to emulate you because they secretly cover your qualities. A narcissist will seek your popularity and esteem for himself if they perceive that you have them. So, they'll watch their target carefully, so they may pick up some of their mannerisms. The things that define a person's superiority, they can be as superficial as their wardrobe, or as complex as their vocabulary or pastimes. A narcissist will want to conform their own behavior to whatever they perceive to be their ideal after learning something about you. At first glance, this may seem harmless, but if they become fixated on getting it, they may eventually become more powerful and dangerous to you. The third reason narcissists mimic others is to exert control over you. Because of their superior manipulative skills, narcissists put you in a precarious situation. This explains why they frequently act like humans. They want to trick you into thinking you have a lot in common with them. Having a lot in common with the narcissist in terms of ideals, hobbies, and practices is important, since the narcissist knows you will trust them more if you do. Predators, including narcissists, know that they can more easily gain a victim's trust if they appear to share their interests and values. The narcissist will study you and mimic your behavior if it means they may gain your trust, and by extension, your heart and life, because it's much easier to bond with someone and get fond of them when you share common passions. The narcissist wants you to feel secure and connected to them. This creates an artificial feeling of togetherness. Narcissists are, to put it frankly, expert manipulators and con artists. They're among the most dishonest people you'll ever meet and are completely lacking in any sense of authenticity. They can't offer true intimacy because of this. This is something I'd briefly cover in this video about the scope and limits of romantic relationships. Narcissists have difficulty with intimacy. Therefore, close relationships can be a source of stress for them. Why? For the simple reason that they are not truly themselves or they mimic our behavior. Because of this, feelings of attachment to an imaginary person may develop. Their most outwardly positive and friendly characteristics are an act.
Public
While their true
information.
nature lurks in the shadows. And is
Public
potentially evil.
information. Drug raid. What is it? Drug raid. But it came to the YouTube and told us that they cleaned that house out before Big Red went to jail. They cleaned that house out before Big Red did his 5-year stay of the dick in the boot. Oop. His 5-year stay in jail. So after they got him, they doubled down to get the lip. But the lip came to YouTube and told us that they cleaned that house. They cleaned the baths out. It was bath salts. They were selling bath salts out of the house. That was the white substance that the police found during the raid in a little tiny box that was hidden away. It was hidden away. All this is public information flopping around in your titties.
If I had to guess, I'd say that the main reason they mimic others is so that they may conceal their own ugliness and evil behind a facade that is used to control and deceive others. They make others feel bad about themselves while, in reality, they are just manipulative, empty shells. They are self-centered manipulators and abusers who can give you nothing in return, but the chance to lose everything you own. Watch out for anyone who seems unduly keen on getting romantic with you and who seems to be observing your actions to mimic them. Something or someone that seems too wonderful to be true probably is. Finally, if you found this video helpful, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and providing some feedback. For your patience, we sincerely appreciate it. In the space provided below,
as much as you can, because I know a lot of narcissists do not have an emotional attachment to people. They might be addicted to this person, but not actually close to them. All we do is serve a purpose. But even without emotional attachment, there are still some things that we can do that deeply affect and can actually hurt a narcissist. What's even better is these things on my list that I'm going to talk about are actually what you should be doing and how you should be handling a narcissistic relationship anyway. So, what hurts a narcissist? Number one, forgetting about them. Narcissists don't want to be forgotten by you, nor anybody else for that matter. They really need to live rent-free in people's heads for like ever. This makes it a lot easier for them to be able to hoover. It makes them feel very important, fluffs their ego, and gives them a sense of overall superiority. If you don't forget them, that means that you'll miss them, you'll be sad forever, you'll be more likely to come back, and this is your punishment, and blah, blah, blah. Like I said in my intro, however, you should be doing this as much as possible anyway. There's no point in dwelling on something that didn't work, that doesn't work, that never will, especially when this person has possible disorders in their brain. Boil it all down to that. They have issues they're not going to get help for, they're not interested, and you, survivor, don't need to make that your responsibility.
What would your life be like if you were a rapid transformational therapist? So I can give you a glimpse into that life now.
Don't need to make that your responsibility. Once things are over, you should be putting them as far behind you as you possibly can. The second thing that hurts a narcissist very much is being ignored. And this is fairly similar to forgetting about them, but I want to add it. If you ignore a narcissist, this will absolutely send a shock through their system. It will be even more mind-blowing the longer that you've been in a situationship with them. Narcissists are extremely arrogant. Their superiority complex, while most of it is a lie, they still feel like they own you. They have you wrapped around their little finger and you're not going anywhere until you ignore them. This crushes that false image, that ego they have where they try to convince themselves they're just so great. What you're doing when you do anything on the list basically is you're popping that little fantasy bubble, especially when you go radio silent. Now a narcissistic injury has set in, and this can cause them to go ballistic. They might blow up your phone, your email, show up at your work or your home. Their reactions can vary, but rest assured they don't take it lightly, and it hurts them more than they'll probably ever tell you. However, actions speak louder than words. Most of the time their actions are quite transparent. They might hoover you and repeatedly try to reach out to you, blow up your phone, your social media, and tell you, okay, you're really testing my patience. You better come back and talk to me and maybe I'll forgive you. I don't know if that's supposed to be some kind of threat. It sounds more like this person is very nervous and resorting to threats and kind of scrambling, so it doesn't sound very to me. It just kind of sounds pretty pathetic, but that's how they'll try to spin it. They're doing you a favor. They're being nice to you. You should be ignoring a narcissist, again, as much as you can, because I know a lot of folks are married to people like this and have kids with them, so that can definitely be a little trickier. But you shouldn't be giving this person the rises, responses, and reactions to their bullshit that they are looking for. Absolutely not. You can chat with me one-on-one and talk more in depth about your own personal situation, vent to a fellow survivor, get your questions answered, and be provided with some tips and techniques for how to handle some issues like grieving and trauma bonding. And you can send an email to bookachatwithjess@gmail.com, or you can set up an appointment in just a few clicks by clicking the link down in the video description to get started, and I look forward to hearing from you. Number 3, you can hurt a narcissist by causing a horrific narcissistic injury. Now, I can't say I condone purposefully causing a narcissistic injury to try to hurt this person. However, I'd be a liar if I said that I took the high road in my own situation like 5 years ago, but I've learned quite a bit since then. There are a lot of times, though, where you don't even have malicious intent and you'll actually end up causing an awful narcissistic injury. So let's go over some of these things here that will cause an injury. Major humiliation will certainly do this. Let's say that you're out somewhere with this person and an argument ensues while you're out in a very public place. And they get belligerent and they tell you that they never want to see you again. So, okay, fine. You take them at their word and you get in your car and take off and leave them standing or sitting right in this venue here publicly that you're in. This is embarrassing beyond belief. But they don't want to see you again, right? So you're honoring their request and they can find their own way home since they want to act like a child. This is also called karma, by the way. But that might be something that happens to them, and that will